Hello, everybody. It's good to see you guys again. And we are going to be moving on with our research project. I have developed a annotated bibliography template that will be super helpful for your gathering of information for your project. So, as you can see here, I've already set it up in MLA format for you. So that can be a good resource when we start getting into the project. So you'll know you need to have your first and last name, your teacher, sophomore English, and the due date. So, and it also has the handy dandy last name and page number. So basically what an annotated bibliography is a place where you can put your thinking down and it's all in one spot. When I'm doing research papers, I know I like to put all my research into one spot where I can access it pretty easily. And it's not like a full-on essay, it's just where you're putting your thinking down where you can find it. So you are going to be required to have 3 resources for this project. So we have 3 squares where you're going to have your citation. Basically what your citation is going to be that MLA citation that you get off of the databases. You're just going to copy and paste that right here underneath your citations, depending on citation 1, citation 2, and then your third citation is your counter argument. So you're going to have to find an article on the databases that opposes your argument. And we kind of talk about that a little bit when we got into the databases and getting into opposing viewpoints and why that particular database is going to be super helpful. So that is why we use opposing viewpoints, because it's easy to find those articles for that counter argument. Now, as you can see, there is a place for your thesis. So I'm going to use an example of abortion like I did with the databases. Your thesis must be an arguable claim. And what an arguable claim is that you're taking a side, essentially. So if I am against abortions, for example, I'm going to say in my thesis that late-term abortions violate ethical boundaries regarding potential life. And determining when life starts. Okay, so that would be my thesis if I was going to make a arguable claim. Later on, through your research, which you're going to do on these 3 articles, you'll be able to develop your roadmap or your essay plan. Your roadmap or your essay plan are the 3 main points that you're going to make in your argument. Okay, so you're going to be getting those 3 main points out of your research. So right now you don't necessarily need to have a roadmap, you just need to have an arguable claim. Okay, and that's going to be your thesis. So once you have 3 articles saved to your drive, and if you need to refresh on how to save those articles to your drive, please see the Google slide with the video on how to use the databases. Okay, so once you have those saved to your drive, you're going to be able to read those articles, and then you're going to have to perform a little bit of an informative analysis. So what an informative analysis is that you're going to be reading these articles that are informative and persuasive, and you're going to use that information. You're going to find the information that's really going to help you develop your thesis, okay, or your arguable claim. So the first thing that you need to do once you've read your articles is that you're going to do a summary of the article. I've kind of broken down the 5 sentences that I think are going to be the most helpful So you need to identify the exigence. So what prompts the writer to write about their topic, okay? Because a lot of times you're going to be able to identify those biases that you wouldn't normally think about when you're reading an article. So if you're reading with exigence in mind, that's going to help you determine what prompts the writer to write. Okay? You also need to identify the audience. Who is that writer writing to? And it's not just going to be the reader. Remember that your audience is always a specific target. So I don't want to see on there the reader or anybody who reads this article. No, it's going to be more specific. So if I'm using the late-term abortion thesis, I'm obviously going to find articles that are against it. So those articles are probably going to be targeted at either lawmakers or people within the justice system. It's going to be targeted towards doctors. It's going to be targeted towards women because obviously women are the ones who have children. So it's going to depend on what type of article I'm reading to know who my audience is. Okay? Then we have the purpose. What is their goal? You want to know what is their goal in writing, because that's going to help you determine how they achieve their goal, do they achieve their goal, and then how do you know? So if you are finding a strong article, obviously they achieve their goal, okay? So if you put a no, they don't achieve their goal here, then I suggest finding a different article, okay? Once you have done a summarization of the article and the main points, then you're going to find 2 quotes, and you're going to explain how those quotes help your argument. And remember, you're not finding like quotes that have like quotation marks around them in the text. You are finding evidence that supports your arguable claim or thesis, okay? So make sure that you understand that we're not just looking for, oh, this person said something in the article. We're looking for evidence in the article that's going to help support your claim. Okay? So you're going to do that for each of these 3 rows. And when you get into your counter argument, that's where you're going to kind of develop your roadmap, because they're going to list out their side of the argument, and you're going to want to address those issues that you think are wrong to prove your point. Okay, so maybe in here you're going to find quotes that aren't necessarily proven, or they're more opinion based, or some way to prove that you have the right side of the argument. Okay, so remember that you need to find 3 resources, and then you need to do a summarization and work through this document. Okay, so this will be shared on Google Classroom, and you'll be able to edit the document. We'll be sure to make a copy for each of you, and then you can just start editing that document. That way we can come in and see where you're at with your research and help you in any way that we can. So if you have any questions, please reach out to your teacher and make sure you have any misunderstandings addressed before you get going on this assignment. Okay, I hope you all are doing well, and I look forward to seeing you guys again.